Welcome to the Not So Christian to Me show. I'm your host, Southern Girl Denise, and today we have another rocking show. Today's show is all about food, and you know I love to eat. You know what? I didn't eat anything today because I could not wait to interview our guest today because she's a caterer. Her name is Marions, and she goes by Amazing. What is it?
Marions
Amazing Catering. There we go. See? I done ate the food and I'm telling you, I'm in space right now. My husband was trying to set everything up. He said, where you want this to go? I'm like, yeah, we put it somewhere. Because after I ate her food, it's like, I'm ready to go to bed because it was so good. I couldn't even think of her name. I'm like, it's amazing, whatever it is, it's amazing. Tell her to come on back. But yes, Miss Marion, thank you so much for being our special guest. We're honored to have you today. You know, you're very popular. We were downstairs at on our radio show. She's so popular, she had a fan downstairs waiting on her when she walked through the door.
That is wonderful.
she didn't know who she was. I was like, do you know who this is? It's one of your fans.
Oh, wow.
So she welcomed her with open arms, just like we're welcoming you with open arms. And like I said earlier, thank you so much for being our guest on the radio and then also being our guest on the TV platform. So for those who don't know you, Marion, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, my name is Marion Coles, owner of Marions Amazing Catering. Well, I don't know what else to tell. I love cooking. Cooking is my passion. I started with the catering business back in April of 2015. April 2015, when I had the gorgeous opportunity to cater for our well-known Serena Williams.
Okay.
Well-known Serena Williams, our tennis player. I felt so blessed and honored with that event there. That was my first time ever catering for anyone. She gave me the opportunity to come and welcome me into her home where I cooked the food. That hotel wasn't getting it, so hey, let's come over here. It was supposed to be a 2-day event, but it ended up, well, it was a 2-day event. I was supposed to have both days, but I ended up with the 1 day, which made it even better because I had the opportunity to go to her and her sister's home.
Wow.
And cook, and I mean, people were just loving the food. So I said, if I can cater for Serena, I know I can cater for anyone. Because Serena Williams, she's popular. She's at the top.
Some A-list celebrity status.
Yes.
I don't know if you're sitting next to her caterer. Now, how did that come about? Like, how did you even get the connection to cater for her?
My niece, which is Drea, her name is DeAndrea.
Okay.
With Drea's music. She writes music.
Okay.
Her and her husband are a team together. And for the past 10 years prior to my catering for Serena, my niece would always tell me, I'm going to see if I can get you to cook for Serena. Mm-hmm. So another year went by until it reached to that 10th year. And I made this amazing dish that I made up. It's called a boudin dip. And so when I made it, my niece tasted. We were out visiting my daughter in Athens, Texas. And then my niece said, you know what, I'm married. I'm going to see if I can get you to cook for Serena. She has that invitational, because it's an invitational that she would have every year, and that was the opportunity for her to eat whatever she wants once a year. So I said, okay. I hadn't paid no attention.
Yeah, because you didn't believe it was really going to happen.
She said all these other 9 times, so I said, okay. But she called me on the phone. She said, I'm married. I need you to send up a menu.
Yeah.
And I said, send a menu over for what? I forgot all about it, you know.
Right.
She said, Serena, her coordinator, she wants you to send a menu over. I said, okay. So I sent a menu there, and I made this amazing meatloaf, and I made it out of a tennis racket.
Oh, wow.
And then I had a ball, like a tennis ball.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one of the ones, Serena, she loved it, but she didn't want, she said she was tired of looking at a tennis racket. But she said it was amazing what I did, and I took the time out to do it. Mm-hmm. I just came up with that. So I had to, so it was a list of food that I had to put out, and I had to narrow it down. She wanted gumbo, that boudin dip. They had the lemon pepper.
You said she wanted gumbo?
Yeah.
Oh, so how she know about gumbo
from
Cali? Because, you know, people from California, they don't really know about
the urban food. In Florida. But she was in California.
Because I know she's from California. Yeah. That's why I was like, how she know about some gumbo? Because a lot of people from, like, the northern states or the eastern states, western states, they don't really know about gumbo or boudin. And then for you to make the boudin ball, I was like, wow.
It was
the dip.
Oh my gosh, it is amazing.
I never even heard of a boudin dip, so I love boudin, so I would love to try that.
Oh my gosh, you would love it. It's just a dip. You eat it with crackers.
See, I be eating it all through the night. Well, I ain't gonna be able to eat it all because my husband will probably go in the kitchen and eat all of it. So I probably get one little dip, one little dip on the chip because he's like, cut it.
You don't want
me to tell it all. Right? But yeah, I definitely want to try that. So tell us about everything else that transpired with that event.
So what transpired with that event, the food was, and I have to say so myself, because the way Serena's house is, her and her sister's house is made. But I was cooking at one of her other house. This is the house where she actually had the party.
Okay.
And so I took the food over there, and once I took it there, after a while, people were just like all in the kitchen. It was time for them. By that time, it was time for them to eat. So they were walking around in the kitchen. They had to actually box the kitchen off. So people would stop coming in because they wanted that food. And so they called Serena's her tennis coordinator on the phone, which I saw her leaving as I was bringing the food, and they called her and woke her up out of her sleep. And next thing I know, she come through the door. She said somebody told her that she needed to get over there and come taste that food. She got out the bed and she came back to the house. And when she walked in the door, I didn't even know what was going on. She walked in the door. She said, "All I want to know is where's the gumbo."
Because that's all she was hearing about was the gumbo.
Where is the gumbo and this amazing food that you make it? And I said, "Oh, because it was just about over."
Oh, okay.
I said, the gumbo was over there, but there's not any more rice. She said, "I don't need any rice. You have some crackers?" And then, but I had that boudin dip, and so I said, "Well, this boudin dip right here, it has rice in it. Put it on that." And she ate that gumbo. Those people it was just amazing how they were just all over the food. Someone asked me, "What do you have? Do you have crack in this food or what?" It was so funny.
Oh, wow.
It was so funny, but that was an amazing catering job where I flew out to Miami, Florida. Had everything all together. Food. I had food in my suitcase. Freezer food in my suitcase, so you could put that under the plane. Yeah. So because when I travel to another place, another state, you never know what they have. If they have the same thing, because every state is different. Yeah. And so, baby, I had shrimp, everything, chicken,
all that stuff.
Oxtails. Because I put oxtails in there. I had greens with the oxtails in there. They were just loving it. And so I put it on the plane. Everything was frozen. Had to be frozen solid. Okay. Wrapped it up in some black trash bags. And had the suitcase. Put it in that suitcase, baby. I had like 2 suitcases like that.
Suitcase of food. I ain't never heard that before.
And put it on that plane. By the time I got there, that food, it was still froze.
Yeah, because you had it right.
So when I travel, that's what I do. I take food with me.
Wow.
And I put it on the airplane up underneath there. You know, they, with everybody else, no one has ever went in there and stole any shrimp or anything. Because I had seafood, everything.
Everything packed up.
Yep, they had a seafood boil. They had everything.
Get back hungry again. I just finished eating. So have you catered for Serena Williams since that event?
Well, since that event, I was supposed to hopefully have gone back the following year, but I ended up having a total knee replacement.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Okay.
I had a total knee replacement here. You know, a person would look at me and wouldn't even think that I had a total knee replacement.
Walk
But
perfectly fine.
yeah, it bothers me sometimes
Oh,
though.
okay.
But and then this one right here, because you can see the difference. One is bigger than the other one. But
Okay.
hey, I take a licking and I keep ticking.
I know that's right. I like that.
Yes, I
Keep
keep a
on
licking
moving.
and I keep ticking. And after, hey, I just put this in God's hands. So I didn't get a chance to go back. But in the midst of all of that, I had the opportunity to meet other people, playwriters and all of that. Tiffany Joseph, Joan, Miss Griffith, who has used my catering service and passed it on to others. There's times that I might just do something for charity because I tell people all the time, all money is not good money.
That's so true.
So I'd rather take a fall in pricing at times than to overprice someone tremendously. Because when I'm out there and I'm at an event, there's many of people that are there that's also tasting this food. So that's my word of mouth right there. That's how I get other people.
Right,
so
that's what it's all about.
It's about a great networking opportunity. Even when you're catering food, it's still
there.
It's there.
Now, when you cater for Serena Williams, did anybody like reach out to you afterwards to cater for them, like later on?
I was supposed to, but I dealt with that knee for like, it was right after my knee injury. I ruptured my bicep.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Also, you done had problems with your
bicep.
Your bicep.
Yeah, my bicep was like right here.
Oh my
It was
God.
here. And
both that and your knee. You
so
just broken down.
I was just broke down. It's just a lot that I couldn't do, but God still made it.
He still made a way for you, and you still standing to tell your story. And still cooking in that kitchen.
And I'm still in that kitchen cooking.
You doing even more
but
now since
I
then.
cook for, I'm not just so for say cook for Frankie Beverly, but I have fed his staff before at a party that I was catering.
Oh wow, okay.
And I wanted to meet Frankie Beverly so bad. I went over there and told one of his staff members, look here, I'm looking at this food over here that you all have here. That food don't look too hot. Do you all want some real good food? Some good food? And I said, because I catered a party over here. It was on the opposite side.
Okay.
And then they was like, the guy was like, yeah. I said, okay, find out how many want to plate, and I'm gonna fix it. So it was like 12 of them.
Oh my goodness.
So I went over there and got her food and fed his staff.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm always making extra, so it was enough to actually go around. And they loved it. They loved it. And Frankie doesn't eat that type of food. In exchange for that, I wanted to take a picture with Frankie.
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity to take that picture with him.
Oh,
and I love it when he told me. I walked up to him and he said, "You are gorgeous." I said, "Thank you." So, but I did with him, and just so many people. It's a lot.
Right.
And I haven't had no complaints.
That's good. That's good. Now, have your prices went up after catering those two events?
No.
You kept your prices the same. That's good. That's good. Now, what's your average cost of your dinners?
Well, I know there's a difference in. See, I'm a caterer. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not at a hotel.
Okay.
A venue where they actually do these big extravagant parties and
Yeah.
events there. So we can look at their pricing of being probably about $43 per plate. Okay. I go by, what do you want on your menu? Okay. The average person that I deal with, that I ask what do they want on their menu, they want some soul food. They want some dirty rice. I let them make their own menu.
Okay.
And they see my page. So they'll pick something to offer there. I do a lot of brunch.
Okay.
As I love to make breakfast. But the pricing, I'm going by, depending on like if it's shrimp, salmon, steak, anything that is high in quality with food,
You adjust your price.
your price is gonna go up a little bit more. Because especially now, because all the meats have gone up
Hurt the meat
tremendously. So, but what I aim for is being able to not overprice anyone. We all know what it costs for food.
Yeah.
Some of these places, okay, well, these people, they don't want just a scoop of mashed potatoes, a little small piece of chicken breast, and some mandely veggies and a dinner roll.
Yeah.
And charging you $43 for that. No, can't do that one.
Yeah.
That right there is probably about, depending on how many people. If it's 100 people, I would say maybe about $15 per plate.
Okay, that's very reasonable.
$15.50.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a really good price.
Now, if it's shrimp, like I just got booked for a wedding in California, they want red snapper, they want steak, and they want chicken.
Okay.
So we're looking at probably about $32 per plate.
That's about right. For
About
that.
32, no more than 35 per plate. And when you have 3 different meats like that, it becomes almost, you could say, difficult. But the way you take that difficulty away is when she sent out her guest list, she's going to have her 3 meats on there. We need to know who wants this meat, that one, and that one.
Yeah.
That's the way I control it. Because if not, you'll have this person serving this table here, and they didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
So you got to go back, and then who's going to buy 300 pieces of chicken, 300 pieces of red snapper, or 300 steaks? No, you narrow it down and let them tell you which meat they want. So you bringing that cost down. Hey, 100 might just want the fish. Might have 150 people want chicken.
Yeah.
Then you might have just 50 people want the steak. So you know now, I know exactly how many pieces of what I need to have.
Yeah.
So that's how I break that down. I would break it down like that.
Now, have you ever catered at an event and the order wasn't totally right, and you just said to yourself, like, I just call it a loss? Like,
No.
That's good. That's good that you haven't had that happen.
No, because your menu is there, and I'm cooking the food myself. I don't allow no one to cook their food for me. Now, the most I would let anyone do is prep. Cut the onions.
Stuff like that.
Really, I don't use onions because onions will spoil your food. So that they would maybe the bell peppers.
See, I'm thinking onions would keep your food fresh. I didn't know it'd spoil it.
Oh, it'll spoil it.
I'm learning something. I'm not a cook, well, I cook, but like you said,
at home, the home cooking.
There we go.
The home cooking, you use onions at home.
Okay. But when
it comes to catering, because it's under heat.
Okay.
The food is under heat, and so the longer it's under that heat, and especially just say like a person it don't matter, it's gonna spoil it faster than anything ever.
Okay.
So I never use onions in any of my catering.
Okay.
I had a bad experience with that before.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Like, have you ever had a bad experience with any type of food that you
Onions,
did?
the onions, and not one. Once you see bubbles, if you just even see bubbles, okay,
Something ain't right.
Something's not right. Then after the bubbles, you're gonna come with the smell.
Okay.
And I had to take that off,
Yeah.
the whole menu. But it wasn't an event. It was at a church where they had different people coming in and serving food.
Okay.
And
Do you let people do that when you cater? Do you bring people in to serve? Or
Yes.
you do it? Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
I like for my grandkids to come.
That's good. They see grandma.
It depends on what type of party it is, but they like to see a kid.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this little boy right here. They gonna have on their aprons and everything.
Yeah.
Chef hat.
They showing leadership. That's some leadership skills that you're instilling in them
Yes.
at an early age.
And yes, they're making money because I pay them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Grandma be paying.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pay them.
You need some more kids? We got 2.
Yeah.
Put them to work.
Tell
Put them
them
to
come
work.
on.
My daughter loves cooking, and she like getting in the kitchen with her dad and cooking, and she like experimenting with stuff. She be on that TikTok.
Yeah.
So she be experiencing. So I'm like, maybe that's something that she probably wants to pursue later on, like being a chef. Like you said earlier, it's a difference between chef and a cook. Tell my viewers, what's the difference between a chef and a cook?
A cook, you're just at home cooking your food. You're cooking and you're just putting some cooking together. That's all. Some people take time out with their cooking at home, but a chef is going to actually they're not just cooking. They are cooking and preparing for an event and want it to be to perfection. It has to be right.
Yeah.
It has to be right. Presentation. So, but you can cook at home and just put anything together. You can come over here and become a chef and learn the correct way to do it.
Now talk us through your transition from being a cook to a chef. How did that come about?
When I became, you're talking about
You started
home.
just regular cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So how did you transition to becoming like a chef and a caterer?
I always, even the transitional part of me becoming from a cook to a chef is, even back then, I've always loved to make my food and my plate look pretty.
Yeah, because if you're looking at something and it looks sloppy, you ain't gonna want to eat it. So that presentation is the key.
You just throw that on the plate here, throw that on.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, it has to look presentable.
So I did like to make my rice look good. For example, the rice that I bought here today, you take that and put it. You find you a cup, a round one, about like this. Put you some rice in there. Pat it down some. Because when you take it out, when you turn that rice over on that plate, so it's round and neat then.
Right.
It's neat. You don't have that everything just falling over. So when you pull your meat up out the pan, you're gonna do it carefully, and you're gonna place it right there on the side of that rice, where it's nice and round, and then you have your veggies here, and you can do the same thing with the veggies, but you put it in a portion, and then so now we have a beautiful plate here.
Now a lot of times food looks good, but sometimes it don't taste good. So what makes your food taste good? Because you got both. It's amazing. You say it is amazing, and it looks good, and you say it tastes good. So what makes it so amazing? What makes it looks good? I mean, what makes it taste good and look good?
Because I'm gonna take my time, and I'm gonna do it right.
There we go.
I'm not gonna have to cook. I'm gonna cook just the way I know it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Now, if I make a mistake and it don't come out right, hey, it's going in the trash. I'm gonna start over again.
All over. Yeah. Till you get it right.
And I very seldom have did that.
I was going to ask you how many times that happened.
Cause I'm like chicken breast. leg quarters, because people, if you're barbecuing for someone, because I love to also barbecue, I'm going to make sure that fat is off of there.
Good.
All around it. I sat on live one night and I showed people how to clean chicken. And I had 2 cases of leg quarters that needed to be cleaned. And as I'm cleaning those leg quarters, you couldn't even imagine how much fat I removed off of there. 2 bags.
2 bags of fat?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a lot of fat. Wow.
So people look at, why do I have all this sodium in it? That's fat right there. But if you remove that extra fat, I love skin. I'll eat the skin. I'll eat the skin and not even eat the meat. The flavor is.
Yeah, that's what the flavor.
Yes. So, but for the most part, yeah. It has to be right. I have to do it right.
So what's your
I want it to taste good.
I know. It has to have that flavor to it. It has to taste
and
good.
I don't do a lot of
mouth-watering.
tasting. Right. I don't do a lot of tasting of my food because I've made this so many times.
You already know.
And I already know that I'm doing about the same amount. But hey, every now and then I'll taste. There's nowhere in the world I can sit there and taste everything that I'm cooking.
Yeah.
Because if I did, I would be big as a house. And then I'm not getting ready to make me no plate after I finish with that. I'll just do that when I'm on live.
Yeah. Now, what's one of your specialties that you cook the most for people?
They love the Hennessy wings.
Say that again. Not so Christian, me sure. Hennessy wings.
They love the Hennessy
and I love wings, but I'm not really a Hennessy person. You do vodka wings?
It depends on what kind it is. I wouldn't put nothing cheap.
Right. Okay. So Tito's is out.
Oh no, I do Tito's wings. I don't think Tito's is cheap now.
It used to be. I think it went up a little bit on their prices. Back in the day,
Tito's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tito's.
But I have made Tito's wings. I've made Ciroc wings also.
Oh, Ciroc wings.
Hennessy wings.
Put my order in.
Don Julio wings.
Look, you name it, you can make it, huh?
And they all up there in price.
right.
Because if you're gonna drink something, you're gonna make sure it's right. So if you're gonna eat, you're gonna make sure it tastes right and it's good. Oh, absolutely. I can taste it. The biggest thing is to taste it, and my deviled eggs.
Okay. What makes sure the deviled eggs different from the traditional deviled egg?
The traditional deviled eggs, because I can't give you all my secret, but they different. Okay. And then don't let me put the shrimp on top, the Cajun shrimp on top of them.
Ooh, man.
Don't let me deep fry these deviled eggs for you.
I'm trying to see how I had deep fried deviled eggs. I think I went to Austin and they famous for their deep fried deviled eggs. I had them in Austin, Texas. Yeah. Oh wow.
I just started doing it because I always have something in my head.
Yeah, and you just come up with something.
Those really look good. And then when but you imagine there's a lot of people that has never even had deviled eggs with shrimp on top of it.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I haven't had it. I haven't tasted before. I've seen it on pictures.
I'm gonna make some that's gonna have some oysters on top, shrimp on top.
I get mine without the oysters on.
And chicken.
Chicken?
Yeah.
What? Like how would the chicken be? It would grill.
Deep fry it, or I can grill it. Just either grill it or deep fry it. I'm gonna do a blackened chicken on top of it. But it's just a little small pork piece.
Maybe we got some eggs at home. Go home and start boiling the eggs. Try to make me some.
It's just a small. You're not putting a large piece on there. It's probably
just a
the
little
same
piece.
size of the egg itself.
When did you realize you wanted to be a caterer? I mean, like the beginning stage. Like let's backtrack before you even became Marions Amazing Catering. When you was little, did you know then that you was gonna do this?
No. Because I tell people all the time, even with me being on Facebook,
and we're going to talk about that.
And I tell people all the time, we never know what God has in store for our future.
That's so true. You never know.
We never know. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I didn't know that I would be doing exactly what I'm doing here today.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's amazing on how God set it all up.
And it's amazing how He actually set it up.
Yeah.
For me. I mean, when I tell you He set it up, He set it up.
And you know it's nobody but God when He do set stuff up. Ain't no questioning.
He did.
None of it.
I mean, I tell people all the time, I could preach so many testimonies, it's unreal on how He actually set everything up for me.
Yeah. And you don't even have to
You
do
didn't
too
do
much.
it. You didn't do it. You didn't do it.
Yeah.
I give my thanks to God.
All glory to Him. That's where everything comes from. It's from Him. Amen.
He saved me from a job, everything.
Yeah.
It's nothing like being able to. And I don't go to church, okay? But God is in my heart.
Yeah, we carry church with us.
Yes. And I tell people all the time, if you do things intentionally, how do you expect for a blessing to come from you? You can't.
You can't.
That's premeditated. So that means you had time to think
about it.
And God can change your mind. Because He changed mine. I'm going to say this one thing. When I was having all this trouble at work, because I didn't want to be sexually harassed, there was a guy, and then they took they wouldn't let me, in other words, they blackballed me. Okay. So there was a guy, I filled out for a job, and there was a guy that he also filled out. They ended up giving him the job because they just did not want to move me up again. Okay? And so I had in my mind to do something towards him because the way that the city was treating me, I built up a little anger.
Oh, yeah. And it's natural.
And when I built that anger, I said to myself, I know he got to go take a drug test. I wanted to go buy some drugs and put in his coffee because he drank coffee all the time. But that's what happens to a person when you have been harassed as much as I was. Okay, so, but you know what? I asked myself, and God was right there with me. I said, if I do that to him, what's God gonna do to
you? That's good that you thought like that, because some people don't think like that.
If I do that to him, what is God gonna do to me? And I was sitting at my desk, and I said it again. I said it like 3 times, and I turned around, and I said, I'm not gonna be blessed.
Yeah, because he will cut your blessings. Yeah.
So I took that out of my mind. God told me just
stay still.
Yep.
Stay still. And that is so hard for so many people to do, is stay still, because they want to do things the way they want to do things. And
you have to put it in His hands.
And that's so hard for some people to do, is to give it to God sometimes.
But see, they don't understand. And see, and then what happens is that they try to fight that battle themselves. Once you put it in God's hands, you can't go back and try to fight that battle yourself because you're going to lose.
Every time. Yeah.
You end up with anger.
Yes.
One of the killing parts of life is that people cannot control their anger.
That's true.
So when you put it in God's hands, He's going to help you control it. And I put it on everything I love. He helped me.
I love that testimony. That was a powerful testimony, because we all, have been in that dark stage when you be getting ready to make a bad choice. But God always intervened. It's a lot of times we try to ignore it.
Yeah.
But if you actually just sit there and think and listen to God's voice, because there's other voices, but when you hear God's voice, it's clear. It's clear. And when you hear God's voice and you act on it, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. So I'm glad that you heard God's voice.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be where you at now.
Exactly.
Because He would, all those blessings that He had lined up for you.
Yeah.
You might well forget that.
I have to think, though. You put it in your mind, it's like it's a mind thing. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay. I can't do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm telling you, really, he did some powerful protecting for me at my job.
That's a blessing.
People thought I was gonna be gone.
You still here to tell the story.
I put it in God's hands.
She's here to tell the story. Here to tell the story. Now, before we go, I want to talk to you about Facebook, cause baby, when I tell you, she get on Facebook and say, "Good morning," 10,000 followers instantly, just like that.
There's a lot of people on there. I have like 73,000 followers.
Wow.
But all of them don't tune in all at the same time. But you'll have people on there, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 people just following, just watching.
What's your secret? You can tell me your secret about Facebook. You don't have to tell me your secret about your recipe. Let's make a deal. You can tell me how you get your followers.
Just being warm with the people, cooking what they want to see. I'm not a rude person. I don't use profanity. Most people they're using profanity. You're not supposed to use profanity on Facebook. Just being myself, really. I can't be anyone but myself. And they love when I say, somebody's knocking at my door. Somebody's ringing my bell. So that right there means the people, they're watching me, they know I'm getting ready to eat.
When you say
and I stay on for a while because if I don't eat in front of them, the life is not complete.
Gotcha. They have to see you eat.
They just, I don't even, they already know I'm just going to make this beautiful plate for presentation.
Yeah.
And they know that I'm not getting ready to eat all that food. That's on that plate.
Because you be having a lot of food on your plate then.
What I make that plate just so they can just sit there and I can show them how beautiful that plate looks.
Wow.
And they always tell me the presentation is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And the cookware that I cook in, they love that. Where did you get that from? Where did you get your deep fryer from? What kind of deep fryer is that? So you have to interact with them and answer questions. Some I can and some I can't because my head is always over here, and then I'm working with another phone, so a phone here, the comments are over here, so I can't always catch the comments all the time.
Yeah.
But they are there. They love coming in. They love viewing me, and they love my clothes.
Okay, yeah, because I like your outfit today. I was telling you in the hallway, it's beautiful.
Thank you. I will go live with this on. And then I'm going to have haters. Why do you have that on? Cooking. Yeah. I said, well, maybe what you might need to do, instead of, what you want? No, I said, well, instead of me having on some baggy pajamas, what you want me to have some pajamas on?
Yeah.
And they all baggy? I said, instead of that, what you might need to do, you might need to go in that room and change your clothes and put you some stilettos on so when your husband walks through that door, you're going to say, wow. And stop worrying about what I have on.
Yes.
I love clothes. And I worked for the city of Houston. I retired. For 25 and a half years, I'm wearing a uniform.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times that I had to, I'm wearing other clothes, but I had the opportunity to actually just come home and put my clothes on and be comfortable. And, what's up, everybody? Hey, what you all doing today? I'm not fake.
Yeah. You should keep it 100, like the Not So Christian to Me show. So for my viewers who are tuning in right now and they want to reach out to you, how can they find you on social media?
You can follow my Facebook page, Marions Amazing Catering. I love to spell out this because people get it confused. It's MARION_S Amazing Catering on Facebook, IG, which is Instagram, codes.marion, and then you can follow me on YouTube. So I'm not on YouTube as much as I am on Facebook, but I'm about to get back on that YouTube.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be climbing the charts on that YouTube, just like that Facebook. Well, Miss Marion, thank you so much for being our special guest. We pray that God will continue to bless you and use you in a mighty, mighty way. And you have all of our support here at the Not So Christian and Me show.
Thank
to
you.
my viewers, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys are interested in being a guest on the Not So Christian to Me show, please follow us and like us on Instagram and Facebook at the Not So Christian to Me show. Until next time, remember that no matter what you guys are going through, God will see you through. Stay blessed up. Peace.
Amen.
Bye.